Hey guys, welcome to Set 3 and Pass. My name is Bit, and today I'm bringing you a second place deck profile at my locals. Again, I played Despia. I didn't play Floowandereeze. At the last minute, I was going to take in Floowandereeze and see how it do against the meta. Everyone in the locals have got Ghosts from the Past 2 cards. They have the Despia cards, the structure deck cards and everything. So I really wanted to take Floowandereeze, but at the final minute, I decided to switch it for Despia to try something new, and I'm excited to bring you this deck list. Now this is a 40 card deck list, no more, no less. I think in this format going forward, I'm still going to play Floowandereeze. I wanted to play Despia just so I could learn the deck, because that's a really big part of the game. You need to know what the meta deck is and how it plays, and I play best when I have the cards in front of me as opposed to playing it online. So I'm really happy to bring you this deck profile with friend number 2. Again, disclaimer, I literally only know one combo, and apparently with this deck you only need to know one combo, and you just have to be lucky to open it. So I'll go through the deck list, I'll go through my side deck options, I'll try to explain the reasoning behind them, and hopefully you like it. So before we begin, please remember to comment, share, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. It does help us out. We appreciate every one of you new subscribers and old subscribers for staying with us, and we hope to make more videos in the future. So if you do like weekly card games, we have Yu-Gi-Oh, we do have some Dragon Ball Z, we are trying to see other cards that we like to play, so we've got variety, something for everyone. And yeah, right, let's get into it. So play 3 Aluba. This card is pretty cheap now at the moment because it's come out in Ghosts of the Past 2. Please make sure you pick up a copy now. Even if you don't want to play Aluba, pick up a copy because these things might skyrocket depending on the meta. So you want to play 3 Aluba, you want to see an Aluba, you can always search it with the branded opening, but seeing him, this is probably your best normal summon in the deck. Your second best normal summon, if you are supposed to do a normal summon, is Despian Tragedy. Yeah, what can I say? So when this is banished or sent to the graveyard by card effect, you pretty much just grab a Despia monster from your deck except himself. And his second ability actually came in really handy in one of the matches where he can banish himself, and you can get a branded spell or trap in your graveyard and then just immediately set it to your field. Play the 1 ad libitum. He is core of the combo. Essentially, when he is banished, you can you can get a fusion monster that is also banished back and special summon him. So essentially, he's the combo. And if people are interested, I can do a combo video where you use him, you banish him. So it's like you use the branded in red, get him, and use him as a part of the fusion summon, and Mirror Jade himself, and then bring out the Guardian Chimera, and then go straight into a new Mirror Jade, so to speak. Play 1 Dramaturge. This is a flex spot. You can remove him for whatever card you want. People play Comedy, which is basically like a monster or effect negate if you've got a Despian card on the field. I like playing Dramaturge because he does come in handy. A lot of people still use the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, and what he does is he just negates stuff if a special summon monster, so like something from the extra deck, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and Link Summon, he just negates it once per turn. And if he's used as Fusion Summon, he gets to special summon him back. So essentially got 3k beta on the field that pretty much negates 1 per turn. And I played 2 Fallen Balbaz. I might cut this down to 1, I'm not entirely sure because he kind of just recycles himself, but at the moment, 2 work really well. So those are the Despian monsters. For the spells, Branded Fusion, absolutely epic card. You want to see this. Anytime a card lets you special summon from a hand, deck or field, it's good. If you're resolving this, 9 times out of 10 you're probably winning the next turn. So yeah, and it's also an Ash rate. And then Branded Opening. Right, this card is low-key probably the MVP of the entire deck. Quick play. You can discard a card for effect, not even cost. So you basically trigger off the Tragedy. So not only do you get a search to special summon, so you do this in the draw phase, activate Branded Opening, get your Aluba on the field, right? And this is all during the draw phase. So you use Branded Opening, get Aluba on the field, chain Aluba's effect, so you can do Aluba 1, Tragedy 2 if you use a Tragedy. You get a search all in the draw phase, so they cannot droll you and they cannot Veiler this Aluba, or they can imperm, but if they've got imperm, they'll have imperm. but that's how you sort of dodge Droll, you dodge Veiler, which is pretty good. And the last two cards I have branded in red. If you want to maximize branded in red, you can pretty much cut out the Dramaturge or the Fallen of Albaz and put in the third branded in red. Third one never came up, second one came up, but I never really wanted a third, so that's an option. And then for the other engine, we are using the Frightfur Patchwork engine, 3 Frightfur Patchwork, 2 Edge Imp Chain, and the 2 polymerizations. I've seen lists play 3 Imp Chains and 3 polys and basically just max out on everything. I think if you want to keep this deck at 40 and you don't want to go above 40, I think this is the correct ratio. And the reason is because you're definitely going to use 2 of them. And you're going to get these 2 back and then these 2. And then if Imp Chain is sent by effect within this deck, it usually is, you have this one for the discard. So essentially one of these is literally just used for the discard. It's not used for anything else other than just discarding. Because in this deck, most of the combos, they require you to have discard fodder. And it works really well because the discards are effects most of the time, and you can trigger Edge Imp Chain, you can trigger Tragedy. So having this extra one is pretty much just a discard fodder, because this one will get these 2 and this one will get these 2, or this one will get this and that can get this again. So it's one of those things where, you know, the extra one doesn't seem like you need it, but you do need it just for the discard fodder. So that's the Edge Imp Chain engine. And then for the hand traps, I'm playing 3 Ash. I don't think there'll ever be a meta where this is not relevant unless it gets banned. Play 2 Veilers. Amazing card, also can be used in branded fusion, apologies. 2 Ghost Ogre, Adventure is still a thing. 2 Imperm, and that is my hand traps. So the reason why I'm playing this ratio of 2, so 2 again, 2 again, and then 3. The reason why I'm playing this ratio is because I found in testing, and they kind of break less for me in this combo, and I think these 3 hand traps are the most used hand traps in this meta. Simply because if you're playing against Despia, you don't really play with Nibiru, because you can get your Mirror Jade within 5 summons, less than 5 summons, sorry. So you have Aluba, then you have the Lubellion, and then Lubellion straight into Mirror Jade. So essentially, you know, you've got 1, 2, 3, 3 summons. So I don't think Nibiru is that impactful to put in your deck, and I think this is the correct ratio. I could be wrong. If you have a better ratio, please let me know. But I think this is good. So yeah, for me this is good. So 9 hand traps is great. And again, MVP is Imperm. So many times I've dodged so many triple tactics with it. And then I play 3 crossouts. Easily best card of the meta. If you guys can pick up crossouts, I would definitely pick up crossouts, especially if you're playing. It's amazing going first, it's amazing going second as well. And against the mirror match, it's ridiculous. In the mirror match, it's pretty much who gets this card first and just stops their turn. And essentially, it's also another Call by the Grave. So this deck plays 3 Call by the Graves, which is really good. And then I play the 1 Foolish Boreal. This is the 4th Despian Tragedy. It's pretty much any card I want it to be. So yeah, you know, I normally use this as a 4th Despian Tragedy. And the final card, the 1 Garnet of the deck that I play, is the Hex Sealed, the Light Hex Sealed Fusion. And I play that because I am running the Dark, the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon package in this deck. So that's 40. Again, I want to play 40, I don't want to play more. In this format you can play more. In the last format, or the current format, sorry, I know everyone's playing 60 cards. Pretty much pile everything into a deck and it works, good stuff. But I wanted to keep it 40, and that's why there's some key things missing. Right, I played 2 Lubellion, 2 Mirror Jade, and the controversial, I played 3 Albion. And so I'll explain the reason behind the 3 Albion. So in the first combo, in the regular first combo, the only one I know, you basically use a Albion. So you use 1 Albion already to banish whatever monster you've got, and then you get Mirror Jade back, and then you're sort of using the second Albion. Now because I run the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon package, I found that recycling this with Lubellion isn't enough for me. So I sort of have this third one, so I'm just managing my resources properly. I do tend to use all 3 Lubellions, and today I actually did use all 3 of them in one match, which was a strange grindy match, and it came down to time, and I didn't want to win in time, but yeah, I would say Albion definitely helps. So I think having 3 is good. You can obviously cut down to 2, but because I'm learning the deck, you know, I'm still learning the resource management. I think 3 is good for me. 2, Masquerade. With Masquerade, essentially, if your Lubellion line doesn't work through, or your Albion line doesn't work through, or they've basically stopped you, you put him on the board by using a Despia Light or Dark, and he essentially starts whittling down. Like, your opponent needs to get rid of this card, and the more he tries, or they try, sorry, to get rid of this card, the more life points they're paying. So this is pretty good. This is like your plan B. And then sometimes against combo decks, going second, I always tend to have a Masquerade or double Masquerade, and double Masquerade is crazy. If you're paying 1,200 per effect, you know, you're gonna run out pretty much. Underrated card, Despian Quaritus. Again, when I do summon him, games are ending anyway. Is pretty good, just turns everything into 0. So the next one I play is Sprint the Iron Dash Dragon. The reason why I play him is because I'm really afraid of Contact C, and if they activate Contact C against you, you've got to use Contact C in order to use the extra deck or part of the extra deck, and Contact C is an insect and it's like an earth type, so there's not many things you can actually use the extra deck for, but I do tend to go with this one. Because it says that you can use a Fallen Abarbaz and an effect monster that's special summon this turn. So essentially, if they max CU, this is your line of play. And he also has a cool effect where if he's special summoned, you can move him in your main monster zone wherever you want, and he destroyed all face-up monsters, face-up cards, sorry, in the cards column. And then in the end phase, if he was sent to the graveyard this turn, you can add or special summon a Fallen Abarbaz or any Spriggan's monster, which I do not actually have any of. And then one of the best cards in the deck, Guardian Chimera, non-targeting, pop 2, draw 1, or pop 1, draw 2, depending on how you use it. Just be careful though, because this thing can be ashed. So if you don't get the draw effect, you don't get the popping effect, and it's just making sure that you're making your lines of play such that he's always being chain blocked by something if you can. And the other thing you have to remember, so with Guardian Chimera, he can't be targeted if polymerization is in the graveyard. So that's actually one of the best reasons to use the Edging package in polymerization, because if you do use polymerization or just use polymerization with Guardian Chimera, or just making another monster, what happens is, you know, he just can't be targeted, and it's really hard to out a 3300 attack and defense monster. So yeah, he does come up. Do you really need to? I would say no. I was just fortunate to get these at a cheap rate when the booster set first came out, but I don't think you need to. So you know, you can survive with one, because if he's being summoned on the field, chances are game's done anyway. So I've never had the second one pop out. This could be another flex spot. You can change it for whatever you want. A good shout out is Despian Proskinion. I can't pronounce that. Yeah, you could change this for Proskinion. And I think I've just missed one. Yep. So I played the one Dragostopelia. Again, he's the turn 1 combo as well. Basically a negate for monsters. What happens is, if your opponent once per turn, quick effect, you target one of their monsters, put a token on them, their level becomes 1, and then basically it just becomes negated. And it does work on Link monsters as well, NXZ's monsters, which I actually had a ruling issue about that. Someone said it doesn't work on a Prank Kids, what's the bird, Doodle Doo. So they activated Doodle Doo, I activated this, and they said it couldn't happen, but the judge ruled it in my favour. I don't know whether that's correct or not, but hey, that was a ruling. And the last spot is the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. The deck is literally a one card combo into a Dark Dragoon. You don't get the pop effect unless you actually use the Dark Magician, which you can if you want to. But I think the Light Hexial Fusion is just so much more versatile, because he's a light monster, and Albaz is dark. So essentially the combo is you go Branded Fusion, pitch the Where is it gone? So you activate Branded Fusion, you pitch the Fallen of Albaz and this card, and then you summon the, where is he gone? You summon the Albion, and then you activate Albion's effect, basically banishing these two, and then that gives you a Dark Dragoon. And there's still some decks in 2022 that are not ready for this card, and he is a pain in the backside. He's an Omni Negate, and he gains 1,000 every time he negates. So again, just be careful. You don't get the pop effect, but you do get the Omni Negate, and everything else, the non-target cannot be destroyed effect of that. That's the extra deck, side deck. So side deck time. I'm going to explain the side deck options. Again, this is totally for your locals. I'm trying to explain some of the choices I made. I just theorized this the night before. I was talking with Kat about which deck I should take. I was definitely thinking about taking Floowandereeze, but last minute I just changed it. So I'm playing 3 Gammas and 1 Driver Gamma package. Pretty much just against, if I'm going against a mirror and I'm going first, I will side this in because you want your Despian Fusion, Branded Fusion, sorry, to resolve. So that's really good. 2 Ghost Belt, again, just against the mirror. The whole point of this side deck is I'm going in thinking that all I'm going to be facing is Despian cards and maybe the 1 or 2 rogue cards. The card that overperformed is Retaliating Sea. This card is absolutely broken. Basically, it's quick effect either player's turn. If your opponent activates a spell card, you get to special summon him on the board, so it's a free body. And at the same time, anything that they, any card goes straight to the graveyard. So technically you're just banishing their stuff. So that stops them recurring tragedy with Branded in Sea. If you haven't already, I definitely recommend you picking up. I'm waiting for my 3rd one, so I don't have a 3rd one, but I would definitely recommend Retaliating Sea. Back row, Twin Twisters, get rid of their Branded in Red. Again, just make sure you don't want to hit skill drain and all that random rogue stuff. That's why I've got these in there. And then I actually do have a small Super Poly package. I've got 3 Super Polys and Starving Venom Fusion. This is basically if I'm playing against Branded and I'm going second, I'm going first or second actually, it just depends on the card. I'm literally siding in 3 polymerizations, Super Polys, and taking out 1 of the Albions for my side deck. Extra deck, apologies. And what am I actually taking out for this? So it depends on the opponent and how experienced they are, but usually what I do is I swap the Super Polys and put in the, not the Fusion, so I take out the crossouts and put in Super Polys instead. So it's sort of like an easy side deck for me. I just think that Super Poly is a bit more impactful than Crossout Designator. It just depends on how the opponent is. If they're really experienced, then I would definitely say Crossout Designator, but if you want a board break, I would definitely side these in. So I would take out the crossouts and put in the Super Polymerizations. And yeah, guys and girls and people, that is my Despia deck. Came second. Did I get anything good in the packs? No, not really. I think, what did I get? I think I got a Dasher Super Rare and the Tenny Monk Super Rare, but you know, we traded those straight away because we don't really want those cards anymore. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that deck profile. If you've got any comments, if you want to see a combo video, I will try my best to get it out. So just post in the comments if you want to have a combo video, and I'll have that posted up for you. And also, I'm going to post my updated Floowandereeze deck after Ghosts in the Past 2, and I'm going to take that down into locals next week. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is Bit. Remember to set 3 and pass. Thank you.